So you see someone you're attracted to and you try to say hey, and perhaps it doesn't go very well, and now you feel sad. Or you see red flags in someone and still continue to involve yourself with them, and it ends up making you feel exhausted and drained. Maybe afterwards you grieve that loss and try loving again, going out on dates. So you feel very deeply, so you may get attached a bit quicker than most people, and you try your best to be cool about it. And you try with different people, try dating different people, and you still go out on dates. Whoa, whoa, wait. The romance police have arrived. The romance police avoid you from crying. They put you in jail for feeling. In fact, if you feel sad or hurt over being abandoned or rejected by a man, they shame you for initiating contact in the first place. You're supposed to emotionally detach and act like it never happens. Because as a woman, you're supposed to prioritize your career and be a girl boss and get your money and be fully self sufficient. And if you steer in another direction, like wanting connection, wanting to be loved by someone, or you develop feelings for someone, someone good, someone bad, someone neutral, whoever it is, you're weak, you're pathetic, you're disappointing, you're sacrificing yourself, you have no self respect. You should catch flights, not feelings. I'm sorry, the romance police got you. You're now handcuffed to their perceptions, and now you are in jail. You see someone heartbreakingly speak about a breakup or a rejection, and you go to the comments and you see comments, boss up and forget your feelings. Real women don't cry over men. Never let a man see you cry. Soft girls get played. Cold girls get paid. Love yourself so much you forget about him. Detach and glow up. This brings me to an ideal archetype that women are idolizing, and also encouraging other women to become. Because if you do, they say that happiness is a promise. So this ideal archetype is what I would call the cool girl or the bad bitch archetype. Now, don't fixate on this term, this name, because that's all I could think of. Anyway, the priority for the bad bitch is her career, being a leader of a pack, the CEO, the girl boss, getting that money, financial independence. For the bad bitch, emotions are a problem. So the bad bitch is emotionally detached. She doesn't get her feelings involved not only when making decisions, but she doesn't get her feelings involved in anything at all because it only makes her life more difficult. Bad bitch is a self-sufficient, financially independent, emotionally detached girl boss who doesn't need a man or anyone to make her feel happy and secure because she got everything she needs within herself to feel emotionally fulfilled. To her, self love is all that is needed, and relationships equal emotional dependence. Another archetype that the cool girl advocates are discouraging women from becoming, and that is the lover girl, the dreamer archetype. The lover girl, the dreamer, prioritizes relationships. She believes in love. She dreams of ideal partnership. She's loyal and committed to relationships. Doesn't mean that's all there is to the lover girl, um, but she is softer, and the stone cold bitch vibe is not hers. But she may pour her heart out into poetry, songwriting, and they may as well write about a man. I'll take Taylor Swift as an example because she's pretty famous and most people know her. And you get what I'm trying to say with this example of the lover dreamer girl archetype. Taylor is known for love, for relationships. Even her songwriting is mostly about love, although not confined to love. Her songs are filled with emotion, with love, loss, pain, vulnerability, and loving again. She's a dreamer and she tends to romanticize love and she's not afraid to be vulnerable, and relationships are definitely a priority to her, and loyalty is very important to her, and so is connection. It's like no matter how much disappointment or betrayal she experienced in the past, it doesn't really stop her from going on to another love adventure again. Lover girl archetype is not all there is to it. The lover girl can also love a career, but it's much different than the cool girl aesthetic because relationships are a priority and connection is a necessity in the dreamer girl's life because she feels she's not afraid to be vulnerable and she's not afraid to admit that she needs connection and to be loved, to feel safe, to feel taken care of even. She could romanticize that. So the cool girl advocates have a problem with this. They're saying that this lover girl is just justifying patriarchal norms or patriarchal stereotypes of women, that the woman needs a man and that means she should be subordinate to a man and all of that. In 1981, Colette Dowling published a book called The Cinderella Complex, Women's Hidden Fear of Independence. In this book, she talked about how social conditioning makes women subconsciously fear independence and success. She argues that many women are unconsciously trapped in a Cinderella mindset and they're waiting to be saved rather than taking control of their own lives. Orly Russell Hochschild, a professor of sociology, also an author, published a book called The Commercialization of Intimate Life. In that book, she sort of analyzed Dowling's way of thinking. Dowling's advice for women also aligns with the modern day cool girl advocates. You're supposed to fend for yourself and forget connection with a partner because you should be your everything. The desire to feel safe, warm, and taken care of by someone else It's a pretty dangerous feeling for the cool girl advocates because people, especially men, will definitely disappoint her. Hochschild goes on to say, this desire to be safe, warm, and taken care of forms the basis of the dreaded Cinderella complex, which Dowling goes on to generalize is the chief force holding women down today. She also says that most of these modern advice for women, books whisper to the reader, let the emotional investor beware, which is essentially what the bad visual vocal advocates are saying. So Dowling says you should invest in yourself, like your own business, and devote yourself to what Hochschild calls is emotional asceticism or emotional control. In modern psychology terms, it's emotional avoidance. So the cool girl gives little love and expects very little from others in return because her baseline belief is that's how things are. People are generally unresponsive, they are untrustworthy, especially in the romantic context. So you need to learn to control your own emotions. So you need nothing from others, even emotional connection. Hochschild also said that the idea of liberation and independence that early feminists applied to the right to vote, to learn, and to work, the cool moderns applied to the right to emotionally detach. Well, let's explore some of these claims of the cool girl advocates. The power of love to overcome all adversity is not very realistic. You are right. But if you say nobody can save you and love is not that powerful and people are not going to save you, let me stop you right there. A person can save you. It just depends on what you mean by saving. You absolutely can rescue someone with love. It's not a fantasy, it's social science. You can reverse the effects of childhood trauma with love and support, especially in secure partnership. The impact of a secure relationship, a strong, steady, stable, predictable, consistent person who is willing to support you on your mental well being, is very powerful. It's tremendous. It's not one kiss like Sleeping Beauty being kissed by Prince Charming. It's this consistent, safe, secure individual making you stronger. It's this person introducing you to this world of healthy attachment that you never knew of. It's not just a kiss. It's days, months, years of consistent love, support, safety, emotional attunement, co-regulation, behavioral modeling. It's rewiring your nervous system. But being kissed by Prince Charming as you are, in a deep coma, isn't that how she was woken up? That's how liberating and unthinkable it may feel to the traumatized brain. And that's how the poetic girl may also describe the secure love or secure partner to the world in her songs or in her poems, because creativity is a place where the mind is allowed to freely exaggerate and feel. Let's define saving like this, right? The presence of a safe, secure stimulus or person have the propensity for the person receiving that security to heal and acquire necessary tools to feel safe and strong within themselves. It's not, oh, they're there every time I feel sad. It's, oh, now know that I'm worthy of love and I will somehow find the support that I need. It happens through a couple of processes according to psychology. Attunement, by being attentive to your emotional cues. Co-regulation, I always talk about this because I don't think people talk about it enough. Being attentive and responding to emotional cues effectively through body language, words, tone of voice, expressions. A person's calm nervous system teach your nervous system to regulate your chaotic emotions. Behavioral modeling. Behavioral modeling can work through a couple of mechanisms. You acquire skills to regulate your emotion, to feel safe. Your partner can model healthy behavior. So you observe them and you take in that information, you learn those skills, and then automatically you adopt those skills to your life. Assume you're someone with, someone who finds it extremely difficult to regulate your emotions. So you can't respond to a threat or a problem in a calm, healthy way. But then you meet this steady, secure individual, consistent person who has a personality that can withstand the pressure and able to face the stress in a healthier, calmer, and a more effective way, which doesn't involve panicking and automatically triggering your survival mode. When you are exposed to that sort of a person for a long time and you have also established a strong bond with them, your brain starts to change. All that wiring or neuronal pathways that were created from emotional neglect or bad role models starts to change and rewire itself. And that's neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change and heal over time. How you face loss, pain, stress, how you react to certain things, to certain people, how you deal with certain events, they can change from unhealthy to healthy by being exposed to that person's behavior on a consistent basis. The other claim of the cool girl advocates is the belief in romantic love is emotional dependence. In psychology and attachment theory, there is something called the dependency paradox. Being able to rely on a secure person in a secure relationship will help you become more autonomous. That's why it's paradoxical, especially if you've experienced attachment trauma. The individuality of being autonomous is very important. Even in a relationship, it's very unhealthy to merge with the other person. Fusion is not healthy, but the answer to that is not emotional detachment or avoidance or channeling all your love into consumption, like materialistic things and shopping and facelifts and body care. The answer is learning to regulate emotion in a healthy manner. The answer is not to stop caring and to stop being vulnerable, to fear connection, or to fear putting yourself out there. The answer is to feel, but in a regulated way that won't really make you completely lose yourself. And self love is important, but cannot replace the love you can get from another person. Let's not pretend it's the same thing. By saying that you don't need anyone and that you don't care about anything, you don't need connection, that's chronic emotional invalidation. It's not self love. Emotional avoidance and emotional detachment. It's not self love. Say you're in a relationship with a partner that you also consider as your role model. It's not that you're standing there admiring their light and how they shine. It's like a fangirl, right? And it's you're looking at them, you're appreciating them, you find them admirable, and it inspires you to create your own thing, your own business, to do better in life, to be stronger, to regulate your own emotions, to become healthier. It's not you're forever just being a fangirl who's obsessed with their role model. That is dependence, but it's in a secure relationship, you become so inspired by them that you want to do something like that just for yourself. Problem with the cool girl advocates is not the man who betrayed or the phenomenon of deception and betrayal. It's the woman who loves and feels. She is the problem. That's distorted thinking, and that is you're just trying to invalidate the woman and internalize some kind of shame and embarrassment for loving and feeling. What I see in this bad bitch, cool girl standard is a protective defense mechanism that dressed up as empowerment. So compensation is when someone overdevelops one area to make up for like deficiencies in your personality or deficiencies that you perceive are there or wounds or insecurities. Basically, if I can't feel lovable or safe emotionally, I'll prove my worth in other ways. So in this bad bitch aesthetic or standard that women are encouraging everyone to become, emotional wounds are replaced with status or control. The bad bitch has been hurt and rejected and made to feel powerless before she became the bad bitch. It's easier to make yourself feel untouchable than truly reflect on how much the past impacted you. So she seeks power through career, beauty, success, money, or being desired instead. So no one can ever hurt her again. Emotional dependencies are placed with independence. Research literature has already established a significant link between childhood trauma and hyperindependence. In an attachment view, of course, we all know that hyperindependence or like extreme self-reliance to the point of excluding connection or like daring to try to connect with others is a form of insecure attachment or avoidant attachment, where you tend to avoid emotionally involved relationships, either out of your anxiety or the fear of rejection, of getting abandoned. I don't need anyone, I don't care about feelings is only a way to compensate for deep feelings of rejection and abandonment. Insecurity about being too emotional is also replaced with control. The cool girl, before she became one, was often shamed for the intensity of her emotions and feelings. So, this emotion avoidance is also trying to compensate that internalized shame that she feels about how much and how deep she feels. Intellectualization is when someone detaches from emotions by analyzing or rationalizing them. You turn feelings into abstract thoughts instead of actually feeling them. So she frames emotional avoidance as logic and empowerment. Like, boss up and forget your feelings. Love is only a distraction. These do sound like rational, but are really defense mechanisms against being vulnerable. It's like a justification for blocking connection. It's an emotional wall. So rather than actually feeling and grieving losses, processing pain, or admitting that she is lonely, she analyzes them, labels them, and she rationalizes them, which may also help her feel in control of feelings she's actually terrified to experience. But let me tell you this, strong does not mean non feeling, strong doesn't mean non soft. The lover girl, the dreamer girl, is not a loser for feeling. The girl gets betrayed by someone and she's going through the stages of grief, but she's not allowed to grieve. He doesn't deserve your tears, and if you do cry, it means he has power over you, and you're weak and you're pathetic. That's the rationale of the cool girl advocates. Even if you feel like you want to beg for someone's love, it's a feeling. It's not weak. It's not powerless. That label is what makes you feel ashamed of your own emotions and the need to feel reciprocal love. She didn't get betrayed because she dared to try. Her relationship didn't work out because she believed in love. Maybe she chose the wrong person. It's not that she doesn't respect herself, it's just we all long for connection, and some of us more than the others. And that's nothing to be ashamed about because it's natural. You know what's unnatural? Not needing connection, not grieving, not feeling. A girl trusts the wrong person, they'd be the first to say, I told you so. Is that feminism? Is that empowerment? You don't sound like a person who uplifts women, rather as someone who invalidates emotion and human experience. This journey, the quest to compensate for their pain and powerlessness, the cool girl advocates have also lost their empathy. It's okay to feel things. If you want love, I feel at times you need love, it's okay. Like if you feel like you don't want to heal alone, but with someone, perhaps a partner, with a partner, you want to heal with a partner. Don't let the world convince you that it's unnatural. The healthy alternative to emotional dependence is not emotional avoidance or denial. It's healthy emotion regulation, learning how to regulate your emotions. Let me know what you think about this bad boy, bad bitch, cool girl aesthetic. We'll see you in my next video. I am so thankful that you are here. I will see you in my next video.